In realms long forgotten, there are tales of the Forest Kingdom, a place of honour and chivalry, known to some as the Land of the Purple Dragon, but known to all as Cormyr.
Hi, I'm Tilda, and I'm playing Hiram, a half-orc paladin.
Hi, my name's Carl. I'm playing Catcher Donahue, human bard.
Hi, I'm Julia, and I'm playing Badger, a forest gnome monk.
Hi, my name is Anton, and I play Balthazar, a Warforged Cleric of Azuth.
Hi, my name is Al, and I'm playing Slate, a changeling druid.
Hi, I'm Matt, and I'm playing Zombo, who is a halfling rogue/warlock.
And my name is Dan. I shall be the dungeon master on this adventure. Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
How are we all doing on this beautiful, beautiful evening?
On Blue Monday.
It is Blue Monday, isn't it?
Oh,
Well, hopefully tonight's session will uplift your souls and fill you with joy.
Sweet.
We have a night of shenanigans ahead of us. I reckon, so as to not let you wallow in your self-pity any longer, we should just dive straight in, shall we?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So, without further ado, laying at the junction of the Wivenflow River and the Way of the Manticore, at the end of the Hullock Trail, sits a small town called Wheloon. Once a thriving, bustling trading hub, Wheloon is now but a shadow of its former self. 33 years prior, by royal decree of King Foril Oberskir, Wheloon was physically and magically walled off from the rest of Cormyr, as punishment for unprecedented Sharan and Netherese activities within its borders. In the aftermath of the War of Shadow 10 years ago, Wheloon was reinstated as a town, its remaining civilians given their pick of the ruined buildings, which had once been their prison. Whilst traders and wealth slowly trickle back into the cursed town, Wheloon now stands as a harrowing example of the consequences of making an enemy of the crown. The scars of the past fade slowly, and the Warhounds will soon discover what lurks in the darkness around every corner.
Wheloon sounds like a fun place.
Yeah, nothing bad will happen here, for sure.
Good. Let's go there on a
Nothing bad.
holiday.
Nothing bad.
Is this truly the beach episode?
Hashtag visit Wheloon.
So, we find the Warhounds scattered about the city of Wheloon, split up into a number of groups, so as best to explore the town quicker and find out what you can. To the northwest, Hiram and Slate were joined by Emily. To the north, or to the east-northeast, there was a small group of Catcher, Balthazar and Zombo, and to the south, Badger and her new best friend, Garabrail.
Hashtag best friends for life.
Hashtag BFFs, yeah. BFFs forever. We left off last week. Hiram and Slate, you had just been invited into a shrine of Selune, the goddess of the moon and twilight. by a lovely young lady who mentioned that they get very few visitors these days. To the south, Badger, you and Garabrail witnessed some of the poverty of the civilians in Wheloon, and there's clearly something wrong economically, as a large number of the civilians appear to be relying heavily on food banks and the like. And Katya, you have just pointed Balthazar and Zumbo in the direction of a small cobbler's shop, which you've just entered. So let's, for argument's sake, jump into... let's say Hiram and Slate. So, yes, you have met... you've been invited in, and invited in by a rather attractive woman. She looks middle-aged. You can see wisps of silver running through her black hair. Her skin has a kind of a rich, deep complexion to it. She is dressed in a long, flowing blue dress with what appears to be a relatively luxurious-looking fur that hangs over her left shoulder. As she kind of opens the door to the shrine, she steps in. You can see that there are 3 steps flanked by some flower beds on the side of this shrine. Inside there it's a relatively small room. You would predict it's only about 30 foot by 35 foot, give or take. You can see an altar at the far end, also flanked by kind of a dusky coloured tapestries. There are 6 pillars, 3 either side, that run down the room. A fountain stands in front of you, behind which on the floor is a symbol of Selune, which is to say a silver pair of eyes surrounded by 7 stars. And yeah, the priestess smiles to you. She walks in, and you look like adventurers. You look like you're certainly not local to Wheloon. Would you care for a drink? She says.
Yes, certainly. Thank you. Oh, sorry. So I'm Ameline, huge fan, and this is Hira.
The woman nods. Greetings, Ameline, and greetings, Hiram. My name is Priestess Kaylin Simmerman. What brings you to Wheloon?
Well, we're looking for, well, some information, some details. To be honest, I just wanted to come in here. Selune is just, sometimes a god just touches you. Right in the heart.
She smiles and nods. It warms my heart that the light of Selune touches you so, young Ameline. It's nice to be in the company of one who admires Selune for her positive traits. That sees her in a favourable light.
Well, certainly, who wouldn't?
Between the two of you, you see the priestess. She smiles at you, but there's like a flicker of of like sadness through her eyes. You mentioned that you're searching for something. What is it that you're here for? Perhaps we could help, she says. Perhaps I could help. And as she says it, like you're just kind of impressed by the fact that the four of you, including Emily, find yourself in this shrine, this empty shrine together. Hiram, I mean, you notice that the walls of the shrine itself looks relatively new, like it's been recently constructed. And if I could very quickly borrow a boop, boop, boop. If I could request a quick religione check.
22.
22 and a 19. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so between the two of you, I mean, you both know that, yeah, I mean, Salune's one of the good ones. Like, Salune's always a good goddess to have, hanging about in your city. And Hiram, I mean, you especially know, given that you know Wheloon's history, you'd have thought there would be, this place would be more busy, but alas, it is not.
You know what? I think Hiram is curious enough to actually ask about that. And he will turn to the priestess and say, I don't mean to be insensitive here.
Yes.
But I really thought that a temple like you, or a shrine like yours, would be busier.
So the priestess has kind of turned and she's moved to the altar. You can see her kind of pouring what appears to be wine into some goblets, and like she's picked up these two wine goblets as you ask this, and then you see her stop, and like you see her from the back. You see her kind of take a deep breath, like her shoulders rise and fall. She turns to you and kind of walks across the shrine to you, and yes, you would have thought so, wouldn't you? She says. She hands a goblet to you, Slate. She hands a goblet to you, Hiram. And yeah, the when you look inside the goblet, the wine, like it's a deep claret, and I mean, it looks like it's very well bodied. It's good wine.
Thank you.
Just like that, Hiram. Yes. You take a sip from your goblet. But yeah, she looks to you, smiles, turns her back and walks back to the altar.
I don't mean to be so bold. Sorry in advance. It does look quite new here. Has this been built for long or renewed? Has this been done since? Well, since the.
Of the occasional visitor, I'm told that. The citizens of Wheloon wouldn't be seen dead, frequenting a shrine of Salune, whilst the city was occupied by the shadow. We thought it would be a beacon of hope to build this shrine and dedicate it to Our Lady of Silver. We thought it would bring the community together, but alas, it would seem that the peoples of Wheloon are, well, I suspect they are tired of edifices to the gods and goddesses.
So, do the people of Wheloon visit any shrines? Is this the same in any other place across Wheloon?
she smiles weakly before saying, in the aftermath of the reopening of Wheloon, there were a number of shrines that were planned to be built. This shrine to Selune was the first to be constructed and completed. But for one reason or another, the construction of the others' shrines stopped partway. Clearly the invested parties decided they were no longer invested, and this now stands as the only religious site within the walls of Wheloon.
Can I do an insight check, please?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Got an 8.
Okay. She seems very sad. She seems quite forlorn about it all. Although, like, as you kind of study her slightly, you catch her looking up to you, and like she smiles at the fact that you two are stood there. And yes, so she steps up to you with a goblet of wine herself. She takes a sip. Now, as we were saying, you said you were here seeking answers. Selune is a goddess that admires knowledge and distributing that among her faithful. So, if you have any questions about this place, I will do my best to answer them as best I can.
I am going to look at Slade and just do your head tilt of like,
Emma's gonna look back and just kind of go, "What?"
Tell you what, whilst you ponder amongst yourselves about any particular questions, across the city, Badger, you are taking a slow walk with Garabrail.
Yeah.
The street that you're walking down looks particularly dilapidated and run down. It's clearly like the place is inhabited. There are, you see people wandering around. You notice that their clothes are not of any particularly high quality. Like there is the token dirty child stood on a street corner that watches you as you pass. Just like holding a pet rock. And although you can see running down the street, you can see kind of drains in the middle of the street, but you notice that on the sides of the roads leading up, on the curbs to the sidewalks, if you will, you can see puddles of stagnated water where clearly the structure of the things like the roads and the pavements has just fallen into heavy disrepair.
Are there any people who look like they might be homeless or asking for money from passers-by? Because if there are, Badger's probably giving them a bit, some coin.
Sure. So you do see. It's hard to say whether they can, invert commas, look homeless, but there are a lot of people that look vagrant, and just like kind of dishevelled. You notice that, since you've got here, the local civilians seem to have been watching you warily. So like as you walk down the street, you can see people kind of peering at you, like giving you side eyes, kind of stepping backwards into shadows as best they can as you kind of go past, and then watching you go as you leave, almost like interested cats in a window.
Like the child we passed, for example, she'd probably she'd probably want to offer the child a bit of money or just sort of see how they react.
Okay. So, in which case, as you head up to this little girl, and you... well, she's smaller than you, so from what you understand, for humans, she's probably about 4 or 5. And she's got like the very typical kind of pudgy little cheeks. Her mouth is open a little bit, and she's just kind of smeared with dirt in an almost, in a very, very kind of typical way. Like her hair is a bit messy, and she's wearing what looks like a burlap sack with holes cut in it. Like it's that sort of poverty. And like she looks up at you as you approach. And how much are you giving her? What are you giving her?
I don't want to scare her, so probably just sort of. I'd probably ask her what she needs, more than just like chucking money at her. Being like, "Are you okay? Do you need anything?"
The girl looks at you and like blinks a few times, and then like holds up her pet rock, and you can see that in like it at a start it looks like there's a chalk drawing of like eyes and a mouth, like a smile, but you realise actually someone's just taken another rock and just kind of like scraped it.
Yeah. Badger probably will use her illusion to make it look like a little mouse or something, and say, it's like, oh, they clearly love you very much. What's their name?
The girl kind of giggles as you create this little mouse, and like she's fascinated as she watches it. And when you ask, she looks up to you and says, "Happy." As she says that, you hear a voice from behind you says, "We shouldn't loiter here much longer. The locals are beginning to pay attention."
Okay, at that point, Badger will just nod at him and kind of maybe just offer her a copper or a few copper, something like that, and say, for you and Happy, and just see if she takes it.
The girl looks at you a bit shocked. Like, well, I say she looks shocked. I mean, her mouth has just been hanging open this whole time. So like you hold the copper out, and like she looks at it for a long while, and then you see her like look up to you, look to the coin, and then it's just this very ginger reach out with her little chubby fingers as she takes the coin off you, and like just holds it to her chest. She, as you tell her name, she smiles, giggles, and then just kind of runs off with your copper coin.
Yeah, fair enough. Badger goes back to Garabrail, and I like to think that this whole time Badger has been walking along next to Garabrail, just asking him a stream of questions, just like, so how old are you? How old's your sword? What's your sword's name? Have you and Isabel ever kissed? So what's our deal with that thing over there? Just like this complete stream of consciousness, just asking whatever comes into her head.
Okay.
He can probably hear those thoughts as well, so you're saying them and thinking them, and he's like... With the background
we're all like, yeah, go on, have you kissed? Go on, tell us. It's like 6 of us in his head.
So as you head back to kind of Garabrail, you with your perception, you do notice that there are a couple of unsavory looking types who are kind of like loitering, but you can see them kind of whispering to each other and kind of looking in your direction. Some of them are kind of trying to discreetly point. And Garabrail... Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, I was just going to ask, like... Does it look like they are just curious in the same way as the other townsfolk, or are they kind of like sizing us up for something?
Tell you what, let's ask for Let's ask for an insight. But I will ask
Okay.
for it with disadvantage because you're quite a way away. Like they're keeping their
Yeah,
distance from you.
sure. It's a 13.
13. So you get the feeling that they seem particularly interested in you. You can't help but wonder if maybe it's your display of any value of any amount of coinage that has drawn their attention.
Okay. Whoops.
And yeah, Garabrail, like you see, so you see this group of individuals. It's a trio of men, just kind of like they see you and they start kind of doing that slow, innocent kind of waltz, like wander towards you. Garabrail then kind of steps in front of you, and like he goes still as a statue, and you just see the three men stop, and then just kind of do that innocent thing where they just veer off as if they weren't planning on heading in your direction.
Very
Yeah.
naughty.
Suddenly
elf-
very interested in the architecture. Oh,
Yes. Yeah. And as Garabrail turns back, you hear the distinctive shh of like the sword going back into its scabbard, because it's clearly just popped it with its thumb. And the elf turns to you and he's taking everything in, and he says, it's a fine demonstration of the power of Cormyr's nobility, is it not?
Do you mean a searing indictment?
Okay. You tell me whether it freaks you out or not, but he laughs. As you say that, and he kind of gestures gently with a hand, and since I've arrived here, all I've seen are people that require aid of those who would serve them from up high. All these people are beseeching aid of the nobles, and they're all being let down.
Yes, it's true. It's a humanitarian crisis. I've seen this kind of thing before, but not here. People in need and people relying on charity. Over in Semberholm, after the fall of Mithranor, we took in so many people who were homeless and wandering and looking for a safe place to go. And it feels as if exactly the same thing is happening here, only no city fell on another city. It's just these people fell prey to the ire of the crown. It's not fair.
Garabrail, like as you talk about the fall of Mithranor and the like the escape to like the exile, well, not exile. What's the word I'm looking for? Exodus. Thank you. The exodus to Semberholm. You can see like Garabrail's cheeks ripple as he clenches on his back teeth. Yes, a tragedy that may not have transpired had the nobles of Cormyr performed dutifully.
Well,
They seem to be adept at getting what they want and leaving us and abandoning those who would look up to them or ask them for help.
I mean, you're not going to hear me argue with you, Garabrail, but what's your point in all this?
He shrugs, and perhaps it's just in their nature, much in the same way that you could never tame an otter. You may as well try to teach dinner table etiquette to a carrion crawler.
Then why are you here? Why did you offer to help, if you think the people of Cormyr don't deserve anything, or that they're all selfish.
He thinks about it for a minute as you begin walking again. These people, they didn't ask for this. He thinks about it a bit more. The responsibility lies firmly on the crown of Cormyr. And as far as I'm concerned, with everything that's happened, the royal houses can languish in their own apathy. I care not. But whatever is afoot in Cormyr implicated me directly. Not 20 days ago, I found myself in the throne room of Cormyr, staring into my own visage, only to learn that this was some twisted machination of mind flayers.
Heavy day.
There's a small from him. I don't seek to aid Cormyr. I only seek answers. If rooting out this menace who would impersonate me and try to bring down a kingdom, if rooting out this menace saves Cormyr, then so be it. But that is not my original intention.
Well, I've always thought that it's our actions that count, not our intentions. So if what you plan to do will result in saving lives, that's fine with me.
He nods. You walk a few, like you carry on walking in quiet for a while, and then he turns to you and Tinotir, he says.
Excuse
My
me?
sword. My sword is named Tinotir, Warden of the Stars.
That's rather lovely, isn't it? Does Tinotir ever speak to you?
She used to. It was taken by the clone.
Oh, did you ever get... But that is Tinotir, you got her back.
No, this is some shoddy piece of metal I found in the armory.
Oh. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Garabrael, I've been meaning to ask. Can I ask you a question, Garabrael?
You seem to have done a very good job up until this point, Badger.
Excellent.
So
excellent.
please, continue.
Right. I mean, all I've been meaning to ask is, where did you go after the throne room? I mean, you were there one moment fighting with the imposter Garabrael, and then you both fell through some portal, and then we didn't see you at all until that night with Varaxus. And in the meantime, imposter Garabrael had come back and burned down our guild headquarters. Where were you that whole time?
When the imposter tried to escape, it appeared that he was trying to open a portal to somewhere relatively local and nearby, perhaps where reinforcements were being kept. But I suppose the silver lining of him being my doppelganger is that I know the intricate motions of the spells he were casting. I was able to influence the portal runes. Instead of portaling somewhere in Suzail, I sent the two of us to the plane of fire.
That is so cool.
I don't know. Whilst my magical prowess is vast, I know that long-range teleportation of that magnitude, I can only do it at most twice a day. And by my reckoning, that was the second time he had used it. How he escaped so quickly implies that perhaps he was receiving magical power from an outside source. I had to fight my way across the plane of fire. Luckily, I had landed somewhere close to the city of Brass. I struck a bargain with some Ifrit. I acquired one of their shoddy swords, for I did not have any wealth on me.
Well, you wouldn't do, would you, if you'd just fallen through a portal in the middle of a fight in the throne room of Cormyr?
The only thing of value that I had was the mask of penance that I've worn since Smith Janor. For some reason, the Ifriti found that very interesting.
Oh. Well, that's good.
It took some time to heal my wounds. My imposter, well, his fighting style was similar to mine, but different in other ways. He caught me by surprise. I never saw it coming. And as he looks at you, you see the light twinkle on his destroyed eye. It took me a while to make it out of the plane of fire, but the most important thing I had to do was make sure that Ilsevel was okay, so I headed straight back to Semberholm. And that's when I met Viraxis.
I see. And Ilsevel just released you from her service, did she?
I quit.
Excuse me? And I assume everybody has a reaction to that one.
Are we listening on this conversation?
You guys could hear
So
all of it,
mentally linked.
presumably.
yeah, as I understand it, as an FYI, so the mind bond is effectively like a Discord chat room. You can have your own private rooms, or you can be in the general chat.
Okay. We're probably in a private room in that case. I thought everybody could hear every word.
Although I suspect you can have like little chat rooms, but people can move into them.
Okay, here's what happens. We're in a private chat room. As soon as he says that, Badger jumps onto the public chat and says, "You'll never guess what." He quit. He quit as Coronal Guard. Okay, I gotta get back into it. And she jumps back in.
Is that the general chat that he is also in?
Yes, it is. And she jumps back in and goes, "Tell me more."
I have spent 300 years protecting the Coronal. The best part of 300 years. Years mean nothing to us, Badger. But to find out that for 10 years, someone was walking around with my face, and I didn't know. Clearly, I'm not fit to be the Coronal Guard any longer. Ilsevel instructed me not to leave, but someone else will do a better job than I did.
Are you sure? I mean, you've been Coronal Guard for 300 years. And as you said, years mean nothing to you. So what's 10 when somebody was swanning about pretending to be you?
I'm a very proud man, Badger.
You shock me.
I do not take this slight on my name lightly.
So time for a career break. 300 years, you've put your time in, you've built your skill set, and now you can go on to other things. Maybe start your own business. Coronal Guards, Inc.
Coronal Guards for hire. He shrugs and perhaps. As he finishes, he looks up, and like he begins to frown, and up ahead, you see that from alleyways, two individuals have stepped out into the road in front of you, and they're kind of like in dark clothes, hoods, and like Garabrel stops and he lets out a low growl, and you see him. He tilts his head ever so slightly, and you see his ear kind of perk up a little bit. and like as you turn around and look behind you, you see a third individual emerge from an alleyway behind you.
Oh boy.
And Garabrail tilts his neck, and you hear a crack. There is a ding-a-ling of a little tiny bell that sounds rusted and well worn. Catcher, as you push open the door to this cobbler's. And as you step in, you see in front of you, it's a house. It's a very small house that what is effectively like the front room, like the living room, if you will, has been turned into the cobbler's workshop. You can see tables, tools. You can see shoe heels just kind of lying about with the little teeny tiny hammers and nails. And as you open as the bell rings out, you see a relatively oldish man, like late middle ages to old age. He just kind of looks up at you, and as he turns around to you, you see him push his chest out. You hear something in his back pop, and he turns around and he kind of gets up and morning. Can I help you? He says.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. Are you Mr. Cobbleson?
He looks to you for a moment, and he looks a bit confused, and well yes, that's me, Rupert, he says, and he holds his hand out to offer a shake.
She takes his hand. It's a pleasure to meet you, Rupert. I heard you were the best.
He smiles somewhat, and he turns around and get a load of this, Sylvia. And he's kind of like doing that little old man kind of step from foot to foot. Get a load of this. They're saying that we're the best cobblers of Wheloon, Sylvia. Oh, you've lifted my soul, little lady, he says.
I'm glad to hear it, sir. I wonder, I have an odd request for you to start with. And she turns around to you, Zumbo, and using the connection was like, do you want a shoe for your peg leg, by any chance? I'm sure we can, might help you walk a little easier.
I guess out loud, Zumbo would just say, that's not a bad idea, Katya. Not a bad idea at all.
You notice that the man in front of you, and he's wearing a shawl around his shoulders to keep him warm. His clothes look old and a bit dirty, like they haven't been washed in a while. And but looking around, you can see that kind of cobbling seems to be this kind of man's life. Literally, his business is his home. And you notice him, and he's kind of just while you're talking, while somebody just randomly says something out of the blue, you notice that this man is kind of looking at your shoes, Katya. And he looks over at Zumbo, and he does a little surprised noise, and he looks up and, half price for you, sir, he says. And then he kind of peers over your shoulder, Katya, to look at Balthazar, and he slowly leans back with his shocked look to look up into the helmet of Balthazar, who is having to stoop to fit under the ceiling.
He's a half giant, sir.
Oh, I'm afraid you might have to pay extra for shoes for your feet, sir.
No, that's all right. I don't need shoes. Thank you very much, though.
And he smiles. Yeah,
I was wondering, sir, if you could make a shoe for our friend Zumbo here for his peg leg. During travelling, he always seems to struggle a little because it gets stuck in roots and things.
Yes, it's the puddles, to tell you the truth, that are the real killer. He
sort of like the man looks and kind of starts rubbing the sideburns on his chins, and sort of like as he's pondering, a door to his left opens up, and this voice kind of rings out as this old woman steps into the workshop, and What was that, dear? What were you saying? She said. And you see this kind of small woman just kind of hobbles across the workshop, and then she kind of grabs onto the forearm of Rupert and what? Hello. Good morning. She says. She looks to you all.
Morning.
And
All right there, Mum.
and she smiles and like you see her grip hard on the forearm of Rupert, and you hear she does that thing that old people do, you know, when like they whisper, but actually they're not very quiet at all. But you hear her kind of going, "You didn't tell me we had customers, Rupert," she says. And "No, I did. I shouted it out to you. I didn't hear you," she says. And then she looks to you and, "Are you here for some shoes?"
We're here for my friend here. Yes.
Oh, she says, looking at Zumbo. "Make sure you give him a half-price discount, Rupert." She says, pointing at Zumbo's peg leg.
Actually, if it'll knock the price down even more, I've bought my own chunk of wood for you to use if you wanted to make like a. I don't know if this is possible. If you can make like a wooden foot to go inside the shoe to fill it out a bit, because obviously this old stick ain't gonna do the trick.
So Rupert, he's sort of like, he kind of gently lifts his the old woman's hands off his forearm, and you can see like clearly his back and hips seem to be giving him a bit of trouble as he kind of walks over, and he lots of old man noises. And then he realizes just getting down to one knee is not going to help because you're a halfling. So it gets a bit lower.
I'll swing my peg leg up onto the table if that will help.
Oh, thank you, lad. Thank you. He says, and yeah, he looks it over and, "Are you sure you want a foot? If you just got a big old flat, it'd be like you're flat-footed all the time. But we could certainly polish up what you've got there. Maybe give it a bit of a rounded, flanged ends, just to give you a bit more pivot."
Yeah. I mean, whatever you can do. I mean, if you do wheels, I'll be happy with that as well.
He smiles, and as he stands up, he looks to you all and what brings you out this way? I mean, I appreciate you have come to the finest cobbler in Wheloon, but seems a bit out of the way for adventurer types like yourselves. Did you come in on the ferry? Are you heading upstream towards Arabelle?
No, sir. Our business is in Wheloon itself. We just came under the advisement of a friend.
We're sightseeing.
Oh, very good.
Kinda.
I mean, given if you are adventurers, I would heartily suggest, if you haven't been already, heading up to Arabelle. It's a good place for folk like yourselves. And as he says it, the old woman kind of butts in, clear, and like he's mid sentence when she butts in. Rupert, tell them about Arabelle. Adventurers seem to like to go up to Arabelle. That's isn't that where Maggie went?
Katja smiles, is like, "Ma'am, we came from Arabelle," and her smile grows at hearing the word Maggie. She's like, "Maggie, a daughter that you have, sir, madam?"
Oh no, he's the bravest boy. The bravest boy in Cormyr is our Maggie, she says.
Maggie, it's an odd name.
You see Rupert, however, like Sylvia's just like, "Oh, man." Rupert, you see him kind of scrunching his nose up a little bit. And he does the old person thing where he just kind of goes, yeah, yes. Anyway, this leg of yours, this foot, and
Yeah. And Zumbo will bring out of his backpack. He'll root around in it for a bit and bring out a chunk of wood, it's driftwood, and Katya might catch the words "Captain's Cabin" misspelt, but that have been carved into the wood with a knife, and he'll look at it kind of nostalgically for a little bit, and then reluctantly hand it over.
So Rupert takes it, and he's looking at this wood, and like he's got his kind of artisan's eye on, because he takes one look at this wood, and then you see him it's driftwood, right?
Yeah.
You see him visibly kind of like bend it, because it's just very pliant. And you want your foot to be made out of this?
Well, I mean, the whole thing doesn't have to be that. It's just if you could include it somewhere, sentimental value. You understand?
Right. But presumably you want something like a fine polished mahogany or a sturdy oak or something. That will support your weight.
Yeah, I mean, you're the artist, sir. I'll bow to your knowledge.
He nods. And sort of like he goes to start talking, and then the old woman, who's still kind of stood off to the side, just kind of like smiling at you all, Rupert, do you think they've met Maggie? Maybe they've met him. If all the adventurers know each other, don't they?
I mean, I've never heard of a Maggie, but there is a rather amazing hero in Arabelle. What was his name again? Magnus, that was it. Magnus Cobbleson. I mean, he's quite the hero, I hear.
And like the old woman looks at you confused as you say that, and then she looks to Rupert. What did she say, dear? And like she kind of wanders up to you closely, and like right up to you, and like she smells of lavender, and she gets in close, and you'll have to speak up, dear. I can't hear very well, she says.
Katya looks at her, and she speaks, but at the same time she projects the words into her mind, and she's like, I said I know of a Magnus Cobbleson, a great war wizard of Arabelle.
Oh, Rupert! She says, and she begins like smacking the old man on the shoulder. They know Maggie! They know of Maggie!
I'm so looking forward to seeing Magnus again.
And like
Maggie.
So there's this kind of surge of emotion through this woman, and everyone, like, you notice that Rupert is just kind of looking at her quite sternly, and you notice that the old woman's hand begins to slow, and then they knew Magnus. And she begins, you see it, like her eyes begin to tear up.
I am going to do something. I am going to use my free detect thoughts and just pick up their surface level thoughts.
Okay. The surface levels are, it's that same kind of deep despair of a mourner. And he has this, like, he also has this sadness, but not to the same extent. And yeah, she looks to you, and like her eyes are shimmering. The light shimmers off her eyes as she looks at the three of you, and it's a shame what happened. Perhaps he might have adventured with you if things had gone a bit differently, she says.
Did happen, ma'am.
You notice that Rupert Cobbleson, he places a hand on his wife's shoulder and says, well, he went off. He didn't he didn't fancy the life of a cobbler. You see, he was he aspired for greater things. So he went off and joined the War Wizards. Fought in the War of Shadows, actually. But I knew something was wrong when he left the War Wizards. They oath them, don't you know? They make you swear an oath to join the War Wizards, but he turned his back on it. With all of the trouble happening in the capital, perhaps it wasn't too much of a surprise. We received news that he joined the rebels, and for better or worse, the king's men got him. Yeah, they got our boy.
When did this happen, sir? When did you get that news?
The old woman turns to you and you see tears beginning to trace down her cheeks, and we only got the news a few days ago. There was apparently there was a rebel stronghold in the King's Forest, and the whole thing was put to the torch, but he was named among the casualties. The King's men thought to tell us to let us know, but he may have been a traitor, but he was still my son.
Zumbo will be looking at Katia and Balthazar in a sort of questioning, like, should we? Kind of way.
Rupert, you can see, he's doing his best not to tear up as well. He's doing, you can see him kind of swallowing hard to kind of try and keep his emotions in check, and perhaps he, if only we knew, he came to see us not too long ago. After he left for Arabelle, he came to see us to see if we were all right. But if we had only known what was going through his head back then, perhaps maybe we could have done something to stop him from following in the tracks of that warmonger.
Katia sort of looks to Zumbo as he says this, and it's like, through the communications, like, I have an idea.
As you say that, he finishes by saying, I knew something was up with Magnus. He said that no matter what happened, he would do everything he could to protect us. But do we really need the protection of a traitor to Cormyr?
I heard a story when I was last in Arabelle that you may be interested in. I heard too about the whole incident at the fort, and I heard many of the king's men were put aside by an extremely powerful war wizard. I promise never to tell anyone that I told you this, but there are rumors of a war wizard helping the needy through the Kingswood, acting as a hero. And she starts weaving this tale of a Batman-like figure that is Magnus, independent of any side, of any faction, saving those who need help in the dark of the night and disappearing just as quick. None have seen his face, but left behind is a MC carved into the walls of those who have wronged the others. And if that carving appears, then soon after the wrongdoers are brought to justice. And she weaves this tale. She even starts almost subconsciously plucking like a slight tune and turning it to almost like a bardic performance.
Okay. I'm gonna need a performance check.
Happily have one. That is a critical.
Wow. 32.
Wah wee wah. Okay. So you weave, so you spin this tale, and the Cobblesons just stand there enraptured. And yeah, you tell the exploits of this kind of rogue war wizard. When you finish, the two of them sit down. Rupert looks kind of confused and bewildered.
Wait, Garabel did what? I'm sorry.
And Sylvia is quiet. She sat at like one of the there's a drawer on at the desk that she sat at, like the work desk she sat at, and she slowly pulls it open and reaches inside and picks out an object swaddled in cloth. And as she begins to open it, it's you notice it as if I can have 1, 2, 3. If I could grab a Religgy request. Oh boy! Right, let's all the religion checks. Yes, if I could grab a religion check from the three of you.
What is this for?
For the item.
It's just a straight religion check, just to see what you know.
That is a 19.
15 for me.
22.
Okay, so between you all, it's very easy to see that there is a pendant hanging from this chain.
Sure.
It is oh, surprise! The pendant.
Mistakes were made.
The pendant is a hand with its all four fingers extended. It's like a plate mail gauntlet, and inscribed on the back of the hand is an eye, which you immediately recognise as a symbol. This is a pendant of Helm, and it's burnt. And Katya, as you look at it, you recognise it as the pendant that you'd seen Magnus wearing in your times with the Warhounds. And Sylvia clasps, like she's holding Magnus's damaged holy symbol in her hands as she's kind of waving it backwards and forward, and she looks to her husband and says, I told you, Rupert. I told you he's not gone. He's still out there, Rupert.
Whatever he has done, he's done so to protect you, I'm sure. And just know that obviously he's still out there trying to help people. Of that I can almost be sure.
Okay. He
seemed to be the person who just wanted to help. She thinks of all the times he helped her.
Yeah. The two old parents kind of look at each other with conflicting emotions etched across their faces. And the old woman, Sylvia Cobbleson, looks to you and Thank you, she whispers. And as she says she looks to you down to the symbol, and as you all kind of stand awkwardly in this cobbler's workshop with two crying elderly folk, the two of them jump as the shutters of the windows and the door slam shut. And
Oh dear.
you hear it slams shut, and as you look at each other and sort of like the sunlight disappears from view from all the shutters and whatnot closing, you notice a spot appear in front of you which erupts out into, and you're enveloped in darkness.
Can I cast light?
Hiram and Slate, Kaylin looks to you and do you have any questions? She says, and you hear a knocking on the doors of the shrine, and she says as she kind of moves around and goes to open the door, and as she goes to approach it, the door is flung open, catching her and launching her across the temple. She collides with the fountain in the middle of the room and kind of sprawls out on the floor. And Badger, Garabrail, as these three individuals kind of eye you up and begin approaching, you two hear coming from a dark alleyway to the side. Katya, Balthazar, Zumbo. Balthazar, as you ignite the light on your torch, you realize on your staff, the light penetrates out at most half a foot, and from the darkness you hear and as Kaylin sprawls out and squeaks across the floor of the shrine, Hiram and Slate, you hear as a disformed figure bursts into the temple, looks to you all, and with that, we will grab a 10-minute break.
Yeah, I think that person needs help more than we do. We can't just leave the wine and let them get on with it. It's fine.
How are your headphones working, Carl?
Yeah, great.
Cool.
Amazing.
See you all in 10.
See you all in 10 if I can still hear.
Yeah, I'm not coming back for that. That sounds terrifying.
We did it, Mixie. I think we're ready to test our latest contraption, the subscribe button. I think we are, Ferret. You press it. No, Mixie, I've already pressed it. You press it. I've pressed it as well. I think you should press it again, Ferret. No, that turns it off, Mixie. Wait, I have an idea, Ferret. They should press it. Yes, that seems like a brilliant idea, Mixie. Press the subscribe button, please. Yes, press it. Go on. Press it. Press it. Press it now. Please. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. I hope your eardrums are not bleeding too badly.
Okay.
Yeah? Beautiful. Okay, so as you find in your respective spots around Wheloon, you have all heard some pretty horrifying noises from something approaching you nearby, and as I bring you all across, right, so Badger and Garabral, you find yourself in the street surrounded by three thugs. To your right, you see this twisted, malformed, pale-skinned creature like lumbering towards you with inhuman, disjointed movements, and what only looks like an expression of outright despair on its face. In the Temple of Wheloon, as Kaelin hits the ground and slams up against a pillar, Hiram and Slate, you see this this wide, two-headed creature kind of stomping with large, kind of deformed stumps for fists. And both heads look at you wearing a look of utter fury. And Catcher, Balthazar, and Zumbo
we have to fight the cobblestones, right?
in the darkness that has just enveloped you, you can hear what sounds like crying. Fearful crying. And everyone, if I could ask you to roll initiative.
Whoop whoop.
Attributes.
Ooh.
My hearty -1. Yes. 6. Oh god.
Whee! Okay. So, the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna go round the houses in
Dan,
your...
should
Yes.
Emily be on the initiative?
I'll go on then. There she is. Okay, so we're going to go round the houses, depending on, like, going kind of map by map. So, top of the... top of the round. Zumbo. You've just been enveloped by darkness. You can hear the sounds of surprise from your allies to your right. You can hear the panicked sounds of the two old folk in front of you. What do you do?
So, what did I hear in terms of enemies and stuff? Did I hear anything? Or was it just darkness?
You can hear a crying in the darkness. And, like, the darkness around you it feels thick, as if you're scrunching your eyes shut as hard as you can, and then someone's wrapped a thick cloth around your head.
So, I can see in magical darkness, if that...
Can you?
Yes.
In which case...
Amazing.
The thing the DM always loves to hear.
From the shadows, you see, like, effectively from the rising up from the floor, is this hunched creature with long arms and small hands that drag across the floorboards. Its head and neck are kind of in just one growth, and you see deep, empty eye sockets for eyes. This creature is just risen out of the ground. Its face is contorted in anguish, and it appears to be crying. But it... as it starts to move towards... into the room. Right, so yeah, Zumbo, what do you do?
Yeah, so I'll draw my rapier and shout to Katya and Balthazar, you two, get the old timers out. I'll hold it off. And I'll crawl beneath I'll crawl beneath their legs, the cobblestone's legs. Because I'm small and I can do that.
So as you move between the cobblestones, you find yourselves at the foot of the stairs that curve up and round to something upstairs, and this malformed creature is stood in the under the stairs going up in front of a doorway.
Okay. So bonus action, Betty is going to, her eyes will flash deep blue. And I guess the others wouldn't be able to see it, but around me are going to start swirling the ghosts of, or the spectral figures of various halflings in pirate garb, all with sort of arms crossed, glaring at Zumbo angrily. But he's in a sort of whirling maelstrom of drowned pirate ghosts, halflings. And that will be a spirit shroud.
Right, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's going to slash at this thing crawling towards him with his rapier.
What damage type are you taking? Necrotic or cold?
Necrotic.
Okay.
So 27 to hit with the booming blade.
Okay, so as you step forward, this creature kind of its head lolls towards you as you approach, and as you jab at it, the skin feels unnervingly soft and squishy as the rapier just pokes right into it like dough. But yeah, that's a hit.
Fine. So 16. Well, yeah, 9 piercing, 7 thunder, and
so as you
3 necrotic.
As you jab the sword in, the rapier in, the creature lets out a wailful moan. You notice that it seems to care more about the thunder that crackles across its body. And just to check, can you also see the hit points coming off it?
Yeah.
Ah, very cool. And as you watch as the dead halfling pirates dogpile this creature, but it just seems oblivious to it all.
Okay, fine. So with his remaining movement, he's going to leap back, sort of end up there. And yeah, he's just gesturing to the others to kind of get out.
Okay.
And that's me.
Okay, so Catcher, you hear Drool outside barking and balking. What does Drool do?
Is this an open window by any chance?
It is not. It's a closed window. The shutters have flipped shut as well.
Oh, okay. And the door here it was shut a second ago. Is that actually open?
The door is also shut, actually, yeah.
In that case, Draw will move to the door, and I'll hold an action. As soon as the door is open, he will go charging in at said danger.
Okay. Catcher, what do you do?
Catcher?
So, Zumbo's just shouted to you to get the old timers to safety.
Oh, God. I've forgotten their names. What were their names
Rupert
again?
and Sylvia.
Rupert and Sylvia, right. Hang on. Rupert, Sylvia! Follow me, we need to get out of here!
The old people are making panicked old people noises.
In that case... Hang on a second. In that case, as a second level spell, she calls out to them, commands, flee.
Sweet.
As her eyes start glowing.
Okay. And it's wisdom save. The Cobblesons fail their wisdom save, and you hear there is more panicked old people screaming. And is that immediately? No, on their turn. Okay.
On their turn. And then she'll step back and pop open the door.
Tell you what, let's give them initiative 9. Cool. Okay, so it's panic screaming. As you feel your way backwards through the darkness, you find the wall, you find the door, you open the door, and you hear from outside. On their turn, the Cobblesons, you hear them kind of scrabbling and bumping into things. You hear a door open, and then a door close.
Draw's ready action.
Yep.
He leaps into the darkness, just going as a straight line. I'm assuming it's disadvantage on attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And he will attempt to bite.
Ooh.
Okay. So as Draw clamps down on the leg of the creature, you like the creature's leg just kind of splotches, and it's like he's just bitten into a Stretch Armstrong. And the creature just doesn't seem phased whatsoever.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then it is Balthazar.
Balty Boy will do a Dispel Magic, please.
Okay.
See if
On
that
what,
makes
perchance?
On the darkness.
Cool. Okay. So, as you intone the words, the darkness around you begins to fade, and suddenly, yeah, the room is illuminated again. Well, it's like dim light because the shutters are closed. There is a column of light coming in through the door, however, which illuminates the creature at the far end.
Okay. Balthazar will go towards the door and just peer outside and make sure the cobblestones aren't running into another shadow creature.
Okay. Cool.
So I see them running away.
You can hear them. You can hear panic noises coming from the other side of the door.
Can I open the door?
You can?
As a free action? Yeah. Can I just do it?
There you go.
Oh, they're in the bedroom. Oh, okay.
They are in the bedroom.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Alright, that's my turn.
Cool. And then the creature in front of you, the fearful shadow, it tries to ignore Draw by stepping round it, and in the process, if you do your boomy damage, Matt. So what's 2d8?
I'm muted, Matt.
Mut.
14.
14.
Nice.
It's pretty good.
The creature, takes a step and is racked with like thunder that arcs across its body. It then looks around and I'm gonna ask all of you to it sees you all and it brings its long noodly arms up to shield its face, and it just lets out this a dreadful scream. So I need the three of you to make wisdom saves, please.
Ooh.
Is this against being frightened, perchance?
It is.
Okay, I think I get advantage then.
Zumbo's a brave boy.
Oh, you're
Brave boy, which I need because my wisdom's terrible.
Attributes. Hold on, I have to do this manually for some reason. It's not working.
Yeah, it's not letting me press the button either.
Okay, tell you what, I can probably do it for you. So Balthazar rolls a 20.
Yeah.
Katya rolls a 15. Zumbo gets advantage, so he rolls a 17. The Cobblesons roll a 6.
Oh.
And are terrified.
Yeah, so the creature just begins like thrashing about and wailing. Yes, they drop dead. They're all tickers. Can't take it. Okay, and yeah, the creature just kind of flops around a bit. Meanwhile, Garabrail looks at these three thugs and closes his eyes and says, "I'm going to give you precisely one chance to step away," he says. But then he hears the wail, the wail of despair coming to the side, and he turns and, "What is that?" Badger, what do you do?
Do I see the
Oh,
thing
yes.
that's wailing?
This thing has just kind of lumbered out of the shadows of the alleyway.
Moved into view. Does Badger know what it is, or has she ever seen anything like this before?
You can roll me an Arcana check.
Yeah. It's a 5.
That dog looks sick!
Something's wrong with that man. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So, as far as Badger's concerned, you're up against 3 thugs and a very, very sick man. That's fine.
Yes.
Yep. What am I going to do? I think... I'm probably going to assume a defensive stance with Garabrail. Do a little bit of...
Okay.
them.
Uh,
That's a dodge.
okay, you're dodging.
Yeah.
So the thugs take one look at this thing. This leadmost thug just steps up and, "We were here first," he says, as he walks up to the misshapen humanoid lumbering towards him.
Wouldn't do that if I were you.
And the other two just like they make noises to their friend. The creature, like, it's kind of, the way it's contorted, it's looking up at the sky slightly, but then you watch as it looks at the man and clubs him with a long spindly hand.
Ooh.
And
Ooh.
the thug, it grabs the thug around the throat, lifts him up, and, like, whilst making sad noises, and there's
So
a
sad. Ooh. Oh dear.
the shadow then looks to you, Badger, and flails at you, but misses.
Badger dodges out of the way of its big prongy arm things and goes, oh no.
Okay, and I think that's it for them.
This is ugly.
That's a couple of hippo twins, isn't it?
So
Weird creature.
the two-headed malformed creature bursts into the room, and it looks to you all and lets out a piercing, dreadful scream.
Yo.
So Emily, Hiram, and Slate, I need wisdom saves.
Oh,
Oh,
Camera.
The camera failed.
the camera failed the wisdom save.
I think.
Well,
Click on Abilene!
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Hey.
So Slate, you
14.
are shaken, but you are fine.
When I do that as well, then I'm gonna go. Do you really have to do that?
I'll do Emily. Oh, Emily rolled an 8. Emily is
Oh,
not
no.
impressed by this thing.
Hold on. My character sheet is doing something weird.
Although you do add dice to this, don't you?
Yeesh.
Let me put that up there.
Paladin stuff.
Paladin, yeah. So +3 to that. So Emily rolls an 11.
Okay, I might need to bring back the thing for me because it's not reacting to the wisdom saving throw for some reason.
Okay, I'll click for you.
Thank you.
So +3 to this, you roll a 9. Hiram, you are also frightened of the
I
creature.
feel like I should not be frightened by something like this as a paladin, but oh well.
Have an ability to shake it off or something.
Not with this paladin, unfortunately.
So, yeah, the creature walks in, releases a scream, and, like, Hiram, as you feel like your chest there's a tightness that grips your chest, and and it's a feeling that you've unfortunately felt quite a few times recently, but you've not experienced anything that would normally bring it on. But as you feel that fear grip your chest, the creature, one head looks to you and the other looks to Emily, and it looks at you in a rage. Slate, what do you do?
I will do exactly what Slate would do in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
In the temple of Selune. What do you think she's gonna do? Ameline's gonna cast.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
Burning hands.
Come on. Moonbeam! Yay!
Hooray for Moonbeam!
Moonbeam!
Okay, so yeah, as the moonbeam streaks down from the ceiling, hitting the pedestal and then bursting out in all directions, the creature kind of thrashes around. It will fail.
Sorry.
Hard fail. That check. So yeah, roll your 3d10 damage if it's a 4th level moonbeam.
Oops, is that 3d10?
That
No, it's a 4d10 because it was
4d10.
But yeah, it's still got only a 14. Got two critical fails in a row.
Okay, so I was going to say roll an extra d10 because you're casting Moonbeam in the Temple of Selune, but you basically already did. So, yeah, the creature roars as it takes 14 radiant damage.
Can I just say, the beautiful blue sparkle you put on the map, it looks like it's some kind of a magical girl attack.
Yeah.
Is Amelie now just like...
Right, after... anything else, Slate? Sorry.
I will go... So, can I ask, because I don't know, and I am asking, so don't worry about it, to do a medicine check would be a concentration, is that correct?
Wouldn't be concentration, it would be an action.
Okay, that's cool. That's fine, I don't need to do it this time. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
that's
you
good.
could do concentration whilst still moonbeaming.
That's perfect. Okay. Sorry. Yep. Okay. Then I will move towards the. Oh, sorry. I will move towards Kaylin.
Sorry, we're just laughing because of what's happening in the chat at the moment. For
It
anyone
is
listening.
brilliant.
Yeah, sorry.
It's distracting me, but it's great.
Okay, so Slate, you move over to the priestess who's lying on the floor. Then it is Emily. Emily cannot get any closer to the creature. Not that she probably wants to, because there's a moonbeam in the way. But yeah, what does Emily do?
Emily is going to cast Calm Emotions by shooting it in the face with an arrow.
Okay. She'll have to roll with disadvantage for the frightened.
That's fair.
The frightenedness.
Am I going to roll as a Cormyr again?
You shouldn't
not.
be. I would hope not.
As long as you click on Emily.
Hold on. Let's make sure I do that.
So, for your reference, Tilda, I think you should be able to click into Emily's character sheet. She is basically a roguelite now.
Nice. Well, I have the
very
crossbow,
light.
so let's use that. Does a 16 hit?
I'll need you to roll again because you've got disadvantage.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Roll higher.
Ooh.
Unlucky.
Not. Oh my god! What a
That-
waste of a
that
natural
would've-
20.
That would have been a spicy crit, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh well.
So, yeah, Emily also feels that tight grip in her chest, the same as you are, Hiram, but she grits her teeth, brings up. She's used to the fear. She brings her crossbow up and fires the bolt, and it like impacts the creature in its left neck, and it lets out a scream as the bolt makes contact. Roll for damage.
7 piercing damage.
7 damage.
I'll shout to Emily at the same time as well. Get it right in the throat so it stops doing that infernal screaming.
Okay, the creature, the creature roars as this bolt kind of lolls around. It doesn't seem as upset about it as Emily was hoping. Emily does have another ability which you might find helpful, Hiram. The ability is called Helpful.
Yep, I was actually thinking... Well, I was actually thinking that what Emily would do is like, yeah, take that, and then use cunning action to hide.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Like behind the pillar?
Yep.
Like down here?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, if you roll a... are you able to roll a hide check? Or is it still in a bit funny?
A hide check.
So it'd be a stealth check.
Oh, yes, I can. Hold on. 18.
18.
Nice.
Okay. Dokie. So yeah, Emily fires a crossbow and then kind of zips round behind the pillar. Do I not have a hiding? Okay, we'll just do invisible. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so she is hiding from the creature. Hiram, what do you do?
Hiram is gonna go around so he doesn't get moonbeamed.
So bear in mind you can't get any closer to it.
Oh yeah, frightened. Can I get rid of that somehow? Do I have anything? Not.
Do you get a check at the end of your turn?
That's a very good question. Dan, do I get a check at the end of my turn?
This is a very good question. At the end of each of its turns, beg my pardon. So, tell you what, if I do...
While you're looking at that, can I just say I have both Dispel Magic and Remove Curse, neither of which helps here.
Oh,
which hurts me.
The checks would be with... No, she ducked out the way, so she can't see it, so... But she still failed, okay. Yeah, if you can see it when you make the check, you make the check with disadvantage.
Hide behind a pillar.
I didn't then do what?
Then make your check without disadvantage.
Point.
Yeah,
so if I hide behind a pillar...
Take your action first.
Throw a holy object at it. Go behind a pillar. Make your check.
I don't have a holy object. I am the holy object.
Can you throw yourself? Are you technically moving towards it if you are a projectile at it?
Why don't you go by Emmeline or Emily and take a hold action?
I might have to. I don't.
You could ready an action, couldn't you? In theory.
Yeah, if it comes towards you.
Yeah, let's do that. I don't think
Okay.
anything else is going to be particularly useful right now.
So you grit your teeth, hold your ground, and drop into a defensive position. Okay. Zumbo. Where is Zumbo? There he is. Right, Zumbo. The lights have been turned on.
Okay. Great, I guess.
The light's been turned on. Across from you are Balthazar and Cat. Cat is by the door to this abode. Drool is currently hanging off the leg of this malformed creature, which is just kind of covering its face, swaying from side to side erratically and wailing like a upset child.
Cool. All right. I will. Yeah, I guess I will stab it then. Another booming blade. It's 14.
That is a hit.
Oh, right, great.
No, sorry, beg my pardon. It is not. It is not a hit, begging pardon.
Okay.
So yeah, you hit it, but as you cleave through it, it's just like sliding a knife through Ooblex.
Okay. All right.
Oobleck?
Depends if you're talking about the creature or the substance.
The substance, the fun
Oobleck.
stuff. That
No.
Oobleck. Okay.
All right. So he will slide back under the table again.
Mm-hmm.
And then as a bonus action, we're gonna have a. I'm gonna have a tentacle in that corner, next to Drool.
Yeah, 2 secs. Don't know why that's done that. There we go.
Oh god.
Thank you. Oh, it's quite big, isn't it?
Yeah.
Might have to go. Yeah.
Meant to be that size.
Yeah, it can attack 10 feet out.
And then it's a 7 plus 7 to hit. Okay, so 12 to hit, and that's from that.
Okay, so yeah, the tentacle swings at the creature, but the creature kind of brings its arms in, and the tentacle just kind of slaps around it. You see the suckers suction onto its forearms, and then kind of rip chunks of it out, but it just...
Okay. I guess I'll just move over here somewhere, but then end my turn.
Okie dokie. Next up is Drool.
I imagine Drool goes running up the tentacle as it bursts out the water and leaps down upon the creature, and 20!
That is a hit.
So he takes 8 piercing damage. He needs to make a DC 15 strength save.
So you all hear what sounds like a crunch from the creature's leg, but and it looks broken, but it doesn't seem to be putting any kind of weight on it. Weirdly, upsettingly, it does, however. Sorry, no, I retcon that. You hear a crunch, and then the creature collapses to the ground.
And as Drool falls on top of it, the spectral ball just suddenly appears at the last second, and there's that dust cloud as Drool lands in its stomach.
Okie dokie. And as it teeters and Drool is encased, it slams it against the wall and takes a full 18 damage.
Nice.
And you see, there are the timbers of the wall crack under the weight of this creature being slammed into it. Anything else, Drool?
Drool's done enough.
Catcher.
Catcher looks at the creature in its miserable state, rears back and sends off a massive psychic scream and casts dissonant whispers at it.
Okay. 14.
It takes 16 psychic damage as she assails it with psychic energy, psychic screams.
Moves away from you. Okay, so you see this creature, like it's sprawled on the floor. As your eyes glow white and you scream, you see it kind of it throws Drool off its leg, with it's like one mangled leg. You then watch as it crawls across the ground, and it disappears into the room in the back. And Zumbo, you watch as the creature kind of reaches up for, goes into the wall. Goes into the room at the far under the stairs and disappears around the corner.
Did it take its 16 damage?
It did, and poof. Okay. Anything else, Katya?
No, I think that'll be it.
Okay. Next up then in this room is Balthazar.
Balthazar will peer into the room where the cobblestones are.
Yeah.
And go, sorry for the interruption. We're just getting rid of this monster right here, and we'll be back right with you. And then
He'll
Say the Cobblesons.
just look around the room, see if there's anything else. And that's his turn.
Okay. Okie dokie. So, with that, Garabrail shouts, "Look out!" As the thing lurches at you, Badger. He draws his sword and that did not work. He, with a swing, he swings his sword that is not Tinatir, Warden of the Stars.
Fair enough.
He strikes the beast right on the chest, and you see the sword make a clean cut, and the creature just seems to almost is sliced across the torso and peels backwards. And there's flames lining Garabrail's blade as he does so. It's a single swipe as the creature folds backwards, and Garabrail lets out a resheathes the sword, and then you watch as the creature folds back into shape, none the worse for wear. And Garabrail just, "Oh," he says next to you. Badger, what do you do?
Did it do anything, that slice with the sword?
It did not.
Excuse me?
It would seem that Garabrail effectively didn't hit anything important.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. Badger's gonna go to the remaining two thugs. Well, get out of here! And she's gonna start, I think she's probably gonna have a go at kind of leaping up and kind of kicking it in the chest as if to test out whether the slash is still there, and she can try to kick his top half off or something.
As you think about this and you go to move, you realise that your legs feel oddly heavy. As you suddenly feel waves of sorrow kind of wash through you as you think about everything that you did do, you didn't do, you should have done, you shouldn't have done.
The little girl with the rock and this whole city, and it's all just so sad.
And the creature just looks at you as you kind of wallow in your despair. But yes, sorry, you may continue.
Can I still kick him in the chest?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Okay. Where did my character sheet go? This is not a good time for it to disappear. Okay. So, we're gonna give him I guess I've basically declared an unarmed attack, haven't I? So let's do that. Unarmed strike. Normal, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Normal. It's a 27.
That is a hit.
To kick him in the chest. For 6 damage.
Okay. And as you kind of spin and kick him, you feel something solid as if you just kicked a breastbone.
Yeah.
And the creature is rocked. And you see kind of scorch marks on its chest where your foot connected.
Okay, we're getting somewhere. And this time she's gonna use some fiery fists for her to actually do I need to declare a stunning strike before I hit, or can I declare it when I know I've hit?
That's where you declare it once you've hit.
I believe it's once you hit.
Yeah, so can I declare a stunning strike for that one?
When you hit another creature with a melee weapon attack.
Yeah, so let's go for stunning strike. I need
on that, yeah?
On the dude, the sick man, yes. So, let's see. Oh, thank you for that. So yeah, Constitution save, please.
Okay. So as you boot the creature in the chest, it would appear that the slice from Garabrel hasn't quite knitted closed, and the creature kind of flops in half again. So its head is kind of down by its ankles, but facing backwards. And it just looks a bit discombobulated.
Okay, so that was my bonus action, and so I guess I am done. And I say, Garabrel, you have to...
Oh, no, it wasn't a bonus. You've still got 2 more attacks.
Is it just... Is it
It's
just
a
a
freebie.
key point? It's a freebie with a key point. Oh my gosh, that is
great.
amazing. I'm gonna...
You could do it every hit as well if you fail on this.
Wail on him.
Okay, advantage now because the creature can't see you because it's upside down between its own legs.
Okay, so we've got advantage for 13. No.
Okay, you strike it and it feels like jello.
That's fine. Advantage. It's crit, that one.
I'll do it.
Okay.
So as the head turns 180 to look at you from between its shins, but you
Clock you in the face.
Yep. Okay.
So that's 14.
And it as you smack it in the golden oldies. Anything else, Badger?
No, I could technically move, but I don't think I need to right now. So I just say over to you, Garabrel.
As the thugs make a run for it. Okay, dokie. Boom! In the Temple of Selune. The Furious Shadow steps forward. So first off, we're going to need Munbum damage.
Aha!
So
Which is
3d10.
no, it was at third.
No, it's 4. It's 4d10.
4d10. Yeah, 4d10. Because it was at third. Oh yeah.
It was a 4th level spell, so yeah, it was 4d10.
If you could deal a lot of damage to it so we can get rid of him soon, that would be amazing.
Cool. Okay, so I'm doing a 4d10.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Roll 5d10 because
Okay.
we forgot the bonus Selune damage last turn when it cast. 5d10, 35. That'll do it.
Oh, did we
wow.
just checking? Did Deb
Yes.
do a Constitution? Second time
Oh.
around. No.
No, because it. Oh wait, does it need to? If it's. Where is it?
Yeah, it must make a Constitution saving throw.
I mean, he's dead.
Well, it might not be. What's the DC?
14.
Fail. Come on.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's dead.
Okay.
I mean, it's dead.
So,
Selune willed it.
so Hiram, as you kind of gird yourself for this creature, which begins kind of lumbering towards you, you watch in the corner of your eye as Ameline opens her hand up wide and like she swings her arm down. The moonbeam intensifies, and this creature rears back one of its kind of stump arms as it reaches for you. Until just the end of its kind of malformed fist just falls out of the side of the moonbeam in front of you, and you watch as it dissipates into shadow.
I love it when I'm not needed.
Okay, and yeah, Hiram and Emily, as you catch your breaths, you wonder what on earth just happened. If we join those of you in that, tell you what. Hiram and Emily, what are you doing now that the thing's gone?
Wait, do I?
Oh, it's late. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Can I please do a medicine check on Kaelin?
You may indeed.
Thank you.
Click that, and then click that. Okay. The priestess is alive. She's just been knocked out cold from being flung 15 foot across the room into a stone fountain.
Is it correct that if you do a medicine check and it passes, that you can make them conscious again?
Yes, you can.
That's what I want to do.
Cool. So, as you kind of step down and begin kind of patting her over and kind of a couple of slaps to the cheeks, the priestess groggily kind of comes to, and like one eye half closed as this beam of moonlight emanates down from the ceiling, and she, Selune, she says out quietly.
I'd advise you not to step into that. I've seen some quite bad stuff happening there.
Okay. Hiram and Emily, the source of your fear is gone.
Hey.
What do you do, the two of you?
I like to enter the group chat and ask everyone like, "Hey, we have just been attacked by some weird creatures. Is everyone else okay?"
That's so spooky and weird because we are also being attacked by a weird creature.
Amazing.
Yeah, we've had a bit of a Barney here too.
We think it's run off, R1. We're just going to check on it, but...
I'm still dealing with this one, so I'm just going to duck out for now, guys, and I'll be right back with you, okay?
We'll talk to you in a second. Everyone else, do you want to meet up quickly?
Just before we go, I want to let you know, I'm okay too. I know everyone was worried, so it's okay.
We can meet at that tavern once we're done. We have some business to conclude here, and then...
Are we bringing heads? Are we bringing the heads? Or...
Whilst this
Keeping a
conversation
mental
is
picture.
happening, Zumbo, what are you doing whilst everyone's chattering around you?
I guess he's gonna stalk off to find the head.
Yeah.
So he'll just shimmy past Drool and the tentacle and see what he can see down this corridor.
Just in the interest of time, do you want to skip over to Badger's seat?
Yeah, well. Zumbo, as you step into the room, you notice that it is empty. There is no trace of the creature being here.
Good idea.
Ah, okay.
And yeah, as you turn to look to the others, presumably with a slight look of confusion, Garabrail growls because this thing hasn't died, and
He's not used to this.
no, he
Usually he swings his sword and things just die.
normally things just die. He doesn't like to be upstaged, so he's just going to he'll cough, extend his arm out, and with his fingers splayed, he
Oh god.
fires a lightning bolt at point blank range.
Amazing.
And
I forgot about
Hey.
Wow.
he obliterate. You see this creature as it explodes into giblets as this lightning bolt just smacks into its chest. Smacks into its. I don't know. Well, it's in half, isn't it? So it's just like below the waist. But yeah, incinerates this creature. It unfortunately incinerates the dead thug behind him as well.
Well.
But yeah, I imagine you watch as the giblets go flying everywhere, but then they turn into this kind of black misty shadow and dissipate into the air.
What was that?
Garabrel kind of looks to you, kind of cracks his fingers, which, like, you can hear the static ringing off his fingers as he clenches them into a fist. He says, "It's not good news, that's for sure," he says. As you kind of rest and recuperate, you have a chance to speak to each other on the intercoms.
So bad news, people. No head.
Did we get the hand?
Oh yeah.
The hand
Yeah.
landed on the floor and then
Oh.
disappeared into kind of black wispy smoke.
I am not going to lie, I am more focused on, can we talk to this priestess of Selune? See if she has any insight into why all of this, just why.
Yeah, does this happen all the time? Or is this...
Yeah. Also, I want to point out this shrine apparently has some good wine, so instead of tavern, we could just meet here.
Oh yeah.
You could indeed. Okay, so Yeah, as you pick the priestess up and Ameline, as you kind of sort the priestess out.
So has that happened in all the temples? Is this why the temples weren't working very well?
Well, the priestess looks to you and sees this beam of moonlight and looks to you and says, "What happened?"
Well, I called upon the power of Selune to cast this wonderful moonbeam, and we've managed to...
I will kick you in the shin if you say that. Gently, but yeah.
Hey, as I was saying, we managed to get rid of the weird thing that was screaming very loudly and very annoyingly, might I add. It was very loud, and luckily, we're fine now. I think Emily's fine. Is Emily okay? I can't see her.
Emily steps out from behind the pillar, trying to pretend as if nothing happened. Are you keeping this moonbeam going, by the way?
For now.
Okay, cool.
Because I'm so proud of it, just standing, looking at, oh, it's so pretty.
Emily walks into it and dies.
So, the priestess looks to you and wait. Say that all again. She said.
It's very easy to explain. As I said, there was a two-headed being that came in, screamed so loudly at us, and then was just like, ugh. So then we decided to moonbeam, and then it died. Done. Does that happen every day, and do we have to do it again? And how often does it happen? Because I'm kind of not in the mood for too many of these.
She looks to you as you describe it. You see her thinking, what sort of noises was it making?
Loud, screaming, angry.
Like,
I will eat your face.
And is there anything left of it?
Nope.
Doesn't look like it, but and then I'll turn the moonbeam off. Or I'll and then look around the ground and be like, well, it was over there. Do you see anything on the ground? I don't.
Yeah.
She looks to you and you see, as you describe everything to her, there's a look of fear in her face. And she, no, she says.
Oh, Kaelin, how about
Yes?
them Shar worshippers?
As you say that, you hear voices from outside, and a heavy female voice calls in, and says, "Excuse me, is everything all right?" And as you look, Hiram Slate, as you look out the door of the shrine, you see two purple dragons and what appears to be a war wizard in a heavy cloak. And with that, we will call it there.
Ooh, dun dun dun.
And this is where we get into prison. Nice.
Okie dokie.
Brillo.
Nice.
Very
That's
Cool. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, everyone, on completing session 16.
Nice.
Hey.
Exciting. It's all kicking
yes.
off in Wheloon.
All kicking on alone. Yes, thank you for playing. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Yeah, I guess we will see find out what those things are next week. Hashtag visit Wheloon. Yes. Cool. So yeah, appreciate it all. I will see you all next week.
See you next
Bye.
week.
Next time.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye 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 bye. Having put down the trio of monstrous creatures, the Warhounds will have many questions. What were they? Where did they come from? What was their objective? It's clear all is not well in Wheloon. Come back next week to find out more. If you've liked what you've seen, leave us a like and comment down below. All episodes are now available on streaming services such as Spotify and Amazon Music, along with Tavern Between Dimensions, our monthly RPG podcast where we discuss interesting character builds, advice for both DMs and players, and other topics of interest. As always, links are in the description down below. If you're looking for more episodes of Cormyr, you can catch another video right here, and if you enjoy what we're doing, you can subscribe right here. Thank you for watching, and as always, may the realms endure.